Now, I think you all are thinking about what is LEAD program is about. LEAD program is a growth engine of development of Chinese Toastmaster. We started Toastmasters in 1999, and LEAD program helped to become 5 districts today. We have around 700 clubs around China. So this program is very special. We focus about leadership excellence for advanced development. We identified leaders who are doing their projects, basically HPL manual and DTM manual, and provide them insight from around the world leaders who learn. We have two programs. One is a workshop-based on-site program, which managed by lead program chair. This is one of the program we provide the knowledge and wisdom and experience shared with the online through all around the world Toastmasters. And if you have HPL project, you can come back to us and we will help you to develop. And also we will provide you some of the time in this meeting to present your HPL manual project and get some feedback from elite speakers here. But today is not for that. Today is for something special. It's 100th anniversary of Toastmasters. So I see that to celebrate that, Percy is went to US and he just ready to go to party, 100th anniversary party. And I also see David is from D73 joining and his late night is 11 p.m. for him. And Helen, same Helen who joining from Sydney and in late night. And also Peter from Canberra joining for lead program. Thank you very much everyone who's joining. And also see Ron is joining from Korea. So they're all around the world. There are members joining for Follow the Lead program. If you want to tell your city, you just put your city in the chat. We will know where you're joining, and that's really helpful for us. And we will come back to you next program with the details coming next session. But today, I was waiting to invite this person for a long time. Initially I was thinking to reach out to her in convention, but this time I could not meet her in convention. But somehow I asked her to join our program as keynote speaker. She joined Toastmasters in 1997, and she served as a leader and for many individuals to become and find their voice. She's one of the best in this trade and find their unique voice. She helped around the world Toastmasters and speakers and leaders. Whenever I listen to her, I always feel I learn a lot. I want to one special day to invite her. Then I found this 100th day anniversary is best for to invite her. Patty Kennedy is a voice specialist and she helped many people and she ran a company, Canadian-based company in United Arab Emirates. She helped thousands of people on this. And if you see, and she's the most recommended person for this kind of help if you want. But beyond that, she has a great experience about leadership and helping leaders to become better in their journey. And today, we would love to invite Paddy to talk about the leadership vision and impact on leadership when you have a great vision. That is the first part of PL manual. She will bring us next 40 minutes vision and mission with the impact. Warmly welcome, Paddy Kennedy.
Thank you very much, Wickham. That is beyond the introduction that I sent you. So thank you very much for your very kind words. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear friends from around the world. I am Patty Kennedy. I'm a Canadian living in beautiful Dubai. And it's a real honor and joy for me to be with you on this 100th anniversary of this wonderful organization that has brought together people literally from all over the world. I'm a bit of a nomad And whenever I travel to a new country and I don't know anyone, I find a Toastmasters club. And in no time, I have found my tribe. I have found people just like me who are interested in speaking, in getting their message out to the world, in learning how to lead, how to be better human beings. I think underneath it all, that was really what Dr. Smedley created this fabulous organization for. So it's a great honor for me to be here with you all. And I'm going to talk to you this evening on leadership, especially vision and mission. So I'm going to share my slides right now, and just let me get going here. This is a topic that's very near and dear to me. I want to get all of you, I love you, but I want to get you out of my screen there for you so you can see, I can see the screen better. So just a little tiny bit about me. Now, some people say I shouldn't say how long I've been coaching for, but I disagree, because you see, as I get older, I find age is something to celebrate and not to be shy or even ashamed of. So a month ago, I celebrated my 53rd anniversary as a coach. I'm so lucky that I have been able to do this all my life. Now, I wasn't always, of course, a leadership development specialist or a strategic communication coach, because 53 years ago, those jobs didn't exist. I was an almost Olympic figure skater representing Canada. I missed the Olympic team, by just 1/10 of a point. I was left very, very disabled after years of rigorous training. And so in those days, you had two choices. You either went on to be a professional skater in the shows, or you coached. I was unable, because of the disability, to go on and perform. So I became a coach at the tender age of 19. And I too was coaching young people who had the same dream that I had. Unfortunately, the disability that I still live with today carried on and got worse. And in those days, I didn't know how to control it as I do now. And I ended up having to retire from it all. No matter what, by the grace of God and my wonderful mother, who made sure that her children knew how to communicate, all that I had left after I finished my skating career was communication. I was very blessed with a mom. She was a single mom raising 4 children in the 50s and 60s, and she didn't want anybody to know that we came from the wrong side of the track. So can you imagine, every night after dinner, we would put the dishes in the sink to soak in hot water, and then we had public speaking classes and elocution classes. And my mom, she had 4 children, and we would all be given topics that we had to talk on, which we now today know is table topics, and we had to give speeches. Now, my mom was a Toastmaster before women were allowed to be Toastmasters, and so she joined, as many women in those days did. She joined with her initials as S.M. Kennedy, and that was how women joined in the days before equality came and women were allowed into the organization. So that's a little bit about me. I grew up, I guess you could say, in a way, with a Toastmaster mother. My mother believed, and I believe rightly so, that when we speak well, we will be heard, we will be seen, and we will be listened to. And I believe that she was right. So although she's been passed now for a number of years, she lives every day in my heart. And to be honest with you, I told her today in my prayers and meditation that this presentation on the 100th anniversary of Toastmasters is for her. So let's get to work. This is an interactive session that I'm going to give you today. I have asked that you come with a pen and a paper, and I will explain why as we go along. So let's go here. Vision and mission are really the anchors that ground leadership. They provide clarity amidst uncertainty. And a clear vision and an actionable mission statement empower leaders to instill teams, to instill courage in teams, to align their actions, and to drive sustainable results. So I ask you, and start thinking about it now, how clear are your organization's vision and mission? And we're going to dive a little bit deeper. How clear are your personal vision and mission? Because that's what we're really going to end up focusing on today. If you have a company, everything that we'll do today, you can apply to your company. Perhaps you're a leader in your community. Perhaps you're a leader in your club. Perhaps you're a leader in your family. It doesn't matter where you're leading from. It all follows the very same principles of being clear on what it is you see and clear on how you to make that happen. So this is our agenda today. We're going to define the vision and mission, what they really are. We're going to take a look at the power of a clear vision, how to make your vision actionable. And at the end, you'll be crafting your exciting vision and mission statement. So that's what we're going to do in the next half hour or so. I really hope that you have a good time. And I'm going to ask you just to get into your imagination. Remember when you were just a little kid and you could imagine anything? Albert Einstein said that the imagination is the most powerful tool we have. So I'm going to be asking you to go back into your imagination today as we really work to define clearly our vision for ourselves, our families, our companies, our communities, whatever it is. So let's first of all take a look at the difference between vision and mission. Many of you probably know this already, but it's always good to refresh your memory. Vision is the long-term aspirational goal of an organization or of a leader. I guess we could say it's the why behind everything. And I would imagine that many of you have read Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. That book, when it came out, gained immediate international popularity because he addressed something that had kind of been forgotten. But once we started to think about our why, suddenly, especially in business, so much began to become clear because the why is more than just the profit. In today, I mean, the profit is always the bottom line, although that's changed. I teach my leaders since COVID that the new bottom line is actually employee well-being. If you take care of your employees, your bottom line will increase. But we need to know our why. And then the mission is the actionable steps or the purpose that drives an organization or you as a leader toward that vision. So we could say that the mission is the how. I chose two companies that are well known in your part of the world today because I wanted us to use some real live examples in the corporate world of how vision and mission helps. And I love the name of this company, BYD, Build Your Own Dreams. Right from that name begins to create the vision. Because we're all dreamers in some way or another, otherwise we wouldn't be on this call. If we didn't dream of a better future for ourselves and our families, our companies, and even our Toastmasters, we wouldn't be on this call. Now, their vision statement is very clear, very simple, very to the point. New energy, changing the world, green technology, leading the change. Their mission, technological innovation for a better life. Short and sweet and to the point. And now another one of my favorite companies, I should let you know, my phone is a Huawei phone. I hope I'm saying it correctly. My computer's a Huawei computer. I like it a lot. Their vision is to bring digital to every person, home, and organization for a fully connected, intelligent world. Now, you can see that. If you close your eyes, you can see what it is that they're trying to do. A vision, remember, my friends, a vision has to be seen. It's what it is. We often make the mistake of making a vision statement as an idea or a thought, but a vision statement has to be seen not only by you, but by your team and all of the people following. So you really want to consider that, because after all, that is what the word means. The mission for Huawei is to provide connectivity and intelligent solutions that support partners and customers globally in driving innovation and sustainable development. So I did a little more research on these two companies. How did they actually realize that vision and that mission statement? And with BYD, their road to success was quite simple, really, and very wise. Instead of relying on other companies for parts, BYD managed to crack the code of producing electrical vehicles cheaply, in part by making most of its own components. The company is able to offer a wide range of affordable electrical vehicles at low prices, maximizing sales and revenue while expanding its footprint in new markets. Now, when you go back and you look at their vision, you understand that's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted new energy to change the world. And you can tell that the steps that they took have led them to becoming very successful in their endeavor. And now we go to Huawei. And what made Huawei successful was that Huawei has always demonstrated its unwavering focus on research and development. Its ability to tailor solutions to meet the diverse needs of different regions, particularly developing and underdeveloped countries. It's a brilliant idea. They want to connect an intelligent world. They want to support partners, customers globally, and they've been able to do it, and they have achieved low cost effectiveness without compromising their quality. So you see, they got very clear on what it was they saw. They got and why. They got very clear from that as to how. And just the littlest bit of research shows you how they managed to become such successful companies as they are today. Now, I'm a Canadian living here in Dubai. I've been living in the Middle East now for just about 6 years. And I've been in Dubai for the past 3 years. I was in Oman for 3 years before that. And one thing that I love about Dubai is I love what the leader of Dubai has done. Look at this. The before is Dubai about 50 years ago. Just a desert. It was a small fishing village in the middle of the desert. A couple of tall buildings. You see a few buildings back there in the background. And here it is today, a leading world metropolis, an exciting city. You see, if you can see down here in the left corner, the Museum of the Future, one of the most avant-garde museums I've ever been in. But the architecture is so incredible. And you see in the background, Burj Khalifa. And the story of Burj Khalifa and how it was made is very, very interesting. And I recommend that all of you read a book that I'm going to recommend in a second. This modern day city is the vision of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Yes, his father started it, but Sheikh Mo, as he is affectionately called here in Dubai, he was the one behind it. He was the one that saw this vision, and he was the one that brought this forward. Can you imagine? And living here, you forget that you're in a desert until there's a sandstorm. And oh yeah, I'm living in a desert after all, because there are trees and flowers and greenery and this magnificent architecture. It really is a remarkable city. And as many of you, I'm sure, are aware, this city is being inundated with people from around the world every day. And you know, one thing I love about Dubai, I've lived in big cities, Paris and London and New York, Toronto, Los Angeles, Ireland. I've lived all over. But I love Dubai because it's a city of dreamers. Everybody that comes to this city especially comes with a dream. And it doesn't matter if your dream is to send money back to your family in Pakistan or Bengal, or if it's to create a company such as I did on my 70th birthday, as a matter of fact. Created the company that had been alive in Canada for years and is now, I'm very proud to say, an Emirati company. It's a city where we can dream and where dreams can come true because we get the vision. Now, I want to recommend this book for all of you who are leaders. The CEO Sheikh, Lessons in Leadership. I really admire this man. And if any of you have worked with me in leadership development, and especially, you know, in Toastmasters, I have worked with many, many top leaders in the organization. For example, I worked with past international presidents, Pat Johnson, Matt Kinsey, Richard Peck, Margaret Page, Balraj from Sri Lanka, and many, many, many of the international directors. And I used to say to them, what are the two most important qualities that a leader should possess? And they would say, good listening, good communication. I'll go, no. Courage and vision. Courage, because no matter what kind of leader you are, maybe you're a bit of an authoritarian, I hope not, but maybe you are. Maybe you're more that democratic type where you talk to your team and your C-suite executives, but at the end of the day, it's you that has to make the decision. It is you alone. Steve Jobs said regarding leadership, if you want to make everybody happy, then you might as well just go sell ice cream. If you're going to be a leader, you have to have courage. And secondly, you must have a vision. And the reason why I recommend this book is because Sheikh Mohammed knows, and it says right from the get-go, this is a man of great courage and great bravery, because you can imagine how many people told him, you can't build up a city like Dubai, you're dreaming. And many of us who are dreamers have been told, you're dreaming. Yeah, that's where great things come from. We dream it, we visualize it, we create it, we live it. And I love what Sheikh Mo says here. Do not think of small starts, but dream of big finishes. So my dear fellow leaders on this call, dream big. Get your vision clear. Get your vision first. Then you can figure out the how, what steps you're going to make. But first of all, you need to know your what and your why. And when you read this book, you will read the incredible story of the building of Burj Khalifa and what this Sheikh put that poor architect through. Because you see, Sheikh Mo doesn't believe in anything is impossible. He believes that it's only impossible because it hasn't been done yet. So I recommend, and I give this book to all of my leadership clients today, because this man has what I think are the most important qualities of a good leader, a visionary. So what we're going to do today, and this is why I want you to have your paper and pen ready, because we're going to get you to create your vision statement. Now you can do this for a company, for yourself as a leader, wherever it is that you find that you want to have a good, clear vision for how you can go forward. Because if you can't see it, you can't get there. Walt Disney said, if you can see it, you can have it. But you can't have it until you get really clear on your vision. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's take a look at this. Dreaming and articulating vision. Now, this comes from a book I wrote, a workbook I wrote, a program that I used to teach many of the leaders in Toastmasters and many of the leaders, of course, in the corporate world. That book is called Leaders Across Borders. And I took, as I was putting together, I thought, gee, those are some good exercises in there. Let me bring those forward. So the first step out of the gate has to be knowing where you want to end up. Now, any project I start with, even if it's the simple thing of putting together a speech, I always begin with the end. If it's a speech, I begin with what's my call to action. And then before that, then I go, okay, well, what's my message? And then what are my stories that'll take me to the message? So you always start with the end in mind. I mean, if you're going to fly from Shanghai to New York, you don't want to spend all your time thinking about Shanghai. You are going to be thinking about New York, because that's where you're going to end up. As I said, effective leaders must be visionaries. But being a visionary to me means being skilled at first dreaming a vision. I don't mean dreaming, sleep dreaming. I mean kind of lucid dreaming, where you're awake and you allow your mind to empty so that you can dream. And once you begin to dream that vision, then you have to articulate it so that others can see it. Because I think in all languages, but certainly in English, when we understand somebody, we say, I see what you mean. Because if they say, I think I know what you mean, they're not seeing it. But when people say, I see what you mean, I get it. I was going to say halas. It's a good Arabic word we use all the time. That means now they're with you. They can go on this journey into this magnificent vision with you. So you got to open up that gate and look to the horizon beyond. And as I said, following the brilliance of Einstein, let's get into our imagination. Let go of all of those, I can't do that, that's stupid, that won't work. If you get caught up in that, you're gonna just not get anywhere. So what do I mean when I say dreaming your vision? I mean, it's what we're gonna do in a minute. We're gonna just sit quietly with your eyes closed, and when you just imagine what's ahead of you. Think, what is it that you want to accomplish as a leader? What path or paths will you take to get what you can see in your mind's eye? And where do you want to end up? What is the result that you're seeking? So we're going to imagine. Now, just before we begin, don't know if any of you know the work of Frank Luntz. He's a well-known writer and political analyst in the United States. And he says, and it's true, that imagine is the most powerful word in any language. As soon as you say imagine to your team or to people, your family, whoever, it ignites something in their brain. Visualization has so much more to do with words. It also is pictures. There's one word in the English language that automatically triggers the process, and that word is imagine. Now, I don't know if any of you were in Vancouver at the World Convention in 2017 when Mr. Richard Peck was running for second vice president. And he was my client, as was Karen Blake, and they were running for the same position. Yes, I do teach two people running for the same position because for me, there's no conflict there. So I would sit, in those days, you could always tell my clients at the convention because they were always using this word imagine. So I said to Richard, I said to both of them, when you give your 2-minute speech at that moment where everybody's going to be judging, I want you to use the word imagine. So Richard got up in the 2 minutes and he said, imagine, and I forget exactly what, it was talking about the organization. And then he said again, imagine an organization that, imagine, he said it 3 times at Toastmasters that, and he said, can you see it? And the audience was like, But then in 1 minute, he elaborated everything that he had just imagined. And then he said, can you see it now? And all 3,000 people in that room shouted, yes. And I knew right then that he had won. That I knew that people were going to vote for him. Now, I had suggested the same to his opponent, but she, whatever reason, I'm a coach. I don't tell people what to do. I just give them ideas. She opted not to. And if you were there, if any of you were there, that was the beginning of Richard really getting to the position of power that he became. I think he was one of the best presidents we've had in a very, very long time. And it all began by him taking those people in the audience, igniting their imagination to see the organization in its fullest potential. And they bought into it. So I want you to remember that word, imagine, when you do your work. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to, let me go back just 1 sec. I don't want to jump the gun yet. I want to ask you now to take your pen and your paper. And I want you for a few moments just to sit quietly now. Now, if you can close your eyes if you like. I have some people say, I never close my eyes when I'm asked to, I hate that. Okay, maybe you do. So just look down. Just bring your focus in. And let's go back and let's ask these questions. What do you want to accomplish as a leader? What path do you think you could take to get to that vision that you have in yourself. And as a leader, really, where do you want to end up? Do you see yourself standing in front of your club? Do you see yourself standing in front of your community? Do you see yourself standing on the world stage? Or do you see yourself leading your family? Can you see yourself? And what is the result of what you are seeking? So just for this moment, use your imagination. Please don't let yourself say, oh no, that's stupid. There's no stupid. Just see it. Can you imagine it? Can you feel it? Just take 2 minutes and let your mind go deep into that beautiful imagination and see yourself there. See yourself having already become that great leader. How did you get there? How do you look? Are you happy? Are you successful? If any of you study the law of vibration, you will know that you have to feel it. You have to feel this vision in order to make it come true. Okay, so now I want you just to take your paper and I want you to start writing without, it's called free writing or stream of consciousness writing, which means no editors allowed. The editor is the one who can't say that, that's stupid. Oh, no, that's not right. Get that guy, tell that guy you'll meet up with him later, because the editor doesn't really like the creative person. The editor is always bossing the creative person around. And the creative person just has to be in that creative place. So tell the editor, go away, I'll talk to you later. And I want you to start each sentence, I imagine. I imagine myself leading my company to great success. I imagine myself leading my club to Smedley Distinguished. I imagine leading my family, whatever it is, and just keep doing, I imagine, I imagine, I imagine, and just keep writing it, using every sentence with the word I imagine. Just let yourself go. What do you see when you're visualizing yourself this way? How does it feel? Do you feel authentic in that role? Can you actualize that person in your visualization? I say you can. So now let's put the pens down, and I would love, I'm going to just stop the share for just a moment so that I can see your beautiful faces. And I would love for some of you now to read your I imagine, I imagine, I imagine. Now listen, nobody in this audience can be the editor or the critic. Mind your own business, mind your own vision, and let everybody explore their own way of seeing themselves as leaders. Until recently, you know, the tagline was Toastmasters were leaders are made. So let's see. Okay, who would put their hand up and like to go? Please. Don't make me ask you. Okay, David, my dear friend David. Thank you, David, coming from Melbourne, where my daughter-in-law is from. Please unmute yourself, my friend.
It's lovely to see you here, Paddy, and thank you for the invitation, sending me the link. That was brilliant. These are simple ones, but I imagined them some time ago. I imagined having coffee with you in Dubai in November. I'm going to be there between the 13th and 17th of November, so I'll be doing that. And I also imagined sitting having coffee with my friend in Bahrain, a place I've never been, and I'll be doing that at his book launch on the 16th of November. And I saw it, I felt it, and I've been to Dubai before, and I really did feel it. Now that's not leading, well, it's leading me, but leadership, I could have written something else, but that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome, David. At our age, we just get to lead ourselves any which way we want. And by the way, leadership's an inside job. It comes from the inside. If you can't lead yourself, you're going to have a terrible time leading anyone else. So good for you. Thank you, David. Could I have somebody else, please? Just put up your hand or unmute yourself and dive in. Don't be shy. Okay, Helen, thank you.
I imagine I'm a keynote speaker at a major event at the beautiful opera house behind me. I imagine going to Dubai and meet you, Paddy, for a coffee. And I imagine I become a board director at those listed company and make a big change for those people living in poverty. I imagine I can provide all the food, all the housing that the people need in this world. That's my full imagination.
You know, okay, maybe I'm a little bit wacky here, but like I have goosebumps. When people do I imagine, something happens. It's more than just chat, 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 chat. It really becomes something that we feel. And in order to get it to happen, you have to feel it. Helen, first of all, if you come for Dubai, I think we should go for dinner. Coffee's too short. We'll go for dinner so we can really chat. And I really want to see you bring that vision to life, okay? Because it's a beautiful vision. And yes, it is a kind of manifestation. That's what we're doing. A vision statement is a form of manifestation. Absolutely. Who else can I pick on now? Come on, somebody. I can only see some of you there. I'm gonna.
Okay, let me try. Can you hear me?
Yes, this is Tristan.
Yes.
Hi, Tristan. Go ahead.
Okay. I imagine myself leading my family, living a happy life by setting weekly goals or monthly goals. I imagine myself leading my business, being successful as a new generation of entrepreneurs. I imagine myself leading millions of people across the world to achieve their goals with me.
I mean, every time I just get goosebumps. I think it's fascinating. Could we have one more person, please, to share how they imagine? Beautiful job there, Tristan. And I know you can do that. Yes, please. How am I saying your name? I know you're wearing hijab, El Shwais. I don't know my pronunciation. Go ahead, my dear.
I imagine I establish a public speaking school for the kids in our country. I imagine I create the public speaking competition for the children in our country. I imagine I am creating a lot of events for our kids in our country. Yeah, and I imagine I buy a car and bringing my future kids and with a happy family. And then I go to my own school with my own car, having a meaningful life. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, you know, Sheikh Mohammed, he imagined. The founders of Huawei, they imagined. The founders of BYD, even the fact that, you know, Build Your Dream tells you that they were imagining. And see, it cannot start without a clear vision. And that's why I show you the pictures of what happened in Dubai, because that's a very clear example of what happens, the power of a clear vision. I'd love to keep going. I see many of you have put in the chat. I'm going to take a look at it, but I want to get back because I don't want to take too much time from our next speaker. This, I imagine, exercise to me is one of the most valuable exercises we can do. So I want you to, and at the end of this, I will give you my email information and I will send you these slides if you like them. So these are the things that were you able to visualize yourself as a leader? Obviously from the people who spoke, yes. I could tell by looking at you that it felt that you could feel what you were saying. I believe that you all were pretty darn authentic. I mean, I didn't have any, that's why I get goosebumps. When we get goosebumps, we know that that person is being authentic. Otherwise, we get kind of, we don't like them. And today, in today's world, we can figure out if people are authentic or not. And finally, I think all of you could actualize yourself in that visualization. So I will send you these slides so you can continue to do these exercises. I just wanted to share with you, this is my vision statement. I do not look like this. I just want you to know this was my first attempt now at using AI to build my slides. So I know you can sort of tell they're AI generated, but they're better than just picking images off the internet. This is mine. And I'm dead serious about this. I do see myself endowing individuals and organizations with the skills to find and amplify their authentic voices, fostering impactful communication and transformative leadership across the board. Every day I get out of bed and I'm so grateful that I get to do it again, that I get to teach, that I get to share my experiences. I get to share what I know with people around the world. This is a vision that I can see and that I live by. And my mission statement is to provide strategic communication and leadership development training that inspires confidence and clarity, enabling leaders to command their presence, engage their audiences, and drive meaningful change in their communities and industries. I came up with these just by doing the very same exercises that I have shared with you. Now, I don't have time to get into making the vision statement, so you got some homework. And I'm telling you, if you really want your dream to come true, you just can't sit around eating potato chips or watching TV. You have to take action. A dream without action is just nothing. So I gave you a little bit of homework because this will test you if you really are the qualities and have what it takes to be a leader. So this is what I want you to do. Identify your core values. I am shocked in my work how many companies, leaders of companies who don't really know the core values, and how many individuals don't know their core values. Do you know your core values? It's really important that we understand what is it that we believe in, that we stand for. So mine are in my work and pretty much in my life too, are quality, care, candor, confidentiality, and then flexibility. I had to add flexibility because my clients are leaders all over the world, and I allow them to change their class time. I'm very flexible with them because I understand that they're busy. But identify your core values. You have to know what is the purpose of your vision. I am so blessed that at 19, I was gifted with the knowledge that all I want to do is to help people become better at whatever it is they want to do. And listen, I've had a coach since I was 10, and I'm turning 72, and I still have coaches. I'm not afraid or shy to have coaches. I'm always learning. I know my purpose, and it grows and changes every day. But it always comes from that same core value of wanting to help people, to give them quality, to not let them know that I care for them, that I will always be honest with them, that anything they tell me, I will never tell anyone, and I am here to serve them, so I will be flexible. Consider who's your target audience. Who is it that you want to lead? You've got to be very clear, and please don't say everybody. because that never works. Matter of fact, when I work with people, they say, well, my audience is everybody. I go, well, that's never going to work now. You got to pick. So my audience for my work are people in leadership, people who want to be in leadership. And I have a side branch where I focus a lot on women in leadership because I'm passionate about helping women to find their voice and to step into their leadership. You've got to outline your key actions. That's what Huawei did. That's what BYD did. That's what I had to do. That's obviously what Sheikh Mohammed did. You have to outline, okay, so this is it. I can see it. Now, what is it that I have to do to get there? What action? Make an action plan. And it doesn't, it shouldn't be written in blood or in stone. It should be flexible. You need to be agile. All good leaders are agile. So maybe as things go along, you're going to change every once in a while, but have a good outline, a blueprint, and then draft and revise and draft and revise. When I work with clients who are writing clients, they want to write it once and they don't want to rewrite it. And I'm like, goodness gracious. A writer knows that a writer writes the first draft. Then the writer writes the second draft. And then maybe by the third or fourth draft, you finally have something. Now, probably many of you are using ChatGPT and whatnot, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like ChatGPT, but make sure if you're using ChatGPT, be the boss and let ChatGPT be your assistant, because it's up to you to always stay in control of your vision. I have a friend who's written about 50 books so far this year. And I really want to celebrate him. But the thing is, I don't think he's writing those books. I think AI is writing those books. For me, that's not authentic. If you're not authentic, who are you? If you're not yourself, who are you? So that's my presentation for today. I want you to take a picture of this slide here. I use the telescope because I want you to dream big and look at the stars. And I want you to take a picture of this because, as I said, if you'd like a copy of this slide presentation, or if you'd like any more information about what it is that I'm doing, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I love Toastmasters. I'm always here for Toastmasters. I belong to District 127, which is a brand new district, #1 district in the world. And I'm happy to say that I am the district advisor. And it thrills me to be able to help this new little district become the best that it can be. So just remember, my dear friends, I am here for you. I am here to share my wisdom, my knowledge, my experience, my love, my passion. Whatever it is, I'm here for you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Wickham, for inviting me. And thank you, everyone, for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Katie. It's really a great presentation, and I hope everyone got their mission statement ready. Anyone has question, we can open your mic and ask question directly from ready. We can have 2 questions at least.
Joanna, I have one quick question.
Yes.
Can I ask?
Yes,
okay,
please.
thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, thank you for sharing. It's really wonderful and getting to know
Go ahead.
the power of a clear vision. But I just wondering if, in case some people like me, my vision is not clear. It's like I want to have truly happy, So how could you get really clear vision? How clear, how specific are you getting there? That's my question.
It's an excellent question, Jojo. Thank you for bringing that question up. It's
Thank
funny.
you.
Most people, believe it or not, when you ask them, what do you want? I always feel like a Spice Girl. What do you really, really want? If you remember that song, maybe I'm dating myself with the Spice Girls. But what do you really want? People, you know why I think that is? Because when we're little, we have this great imagination, but then we go to school and then you got to do it this way to get good marks, and you got to do this and you got to do that. And all of a sudden we kind of lose our imagination. We lose that freedom of thought. Now, I'm not saying, you know, I understand, obviously we have to conform, we live in the world, I understand that. But Jojo and all of you, I want you to just get back into that, being a kid. And keep, I'm not kidding, keep that darn editor far away, because that editor is every critic you've ever known in your life. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? That's a stupid idea. That'll never work. And they say it because they love us most of the time. But this is a private little conversation that you need to have with yourself. What do I really want? I want to be happy. Well, how? Does that mean I want apartment, car, money, or do I want to serve? How do I want to be happy? What does that mean? And have these conversations with you and be honest with yourself and just write. And if you think that's just garbage, then rip it up and start again. But just keep doing it and you'll know, because your heart will start to sing. You'll start to feel good. I mean, we're here to feel good. We're not here just always to be angry or working hard or being too overworked. How do you define a happy life? That's up to you. My happy life is, I love my work. I love my life. You know, I'm a widow. I have only my son left and everybody else has passed away. I live all by myself here in this culture. I'm the happiest person I know. And it hasn't been easy, but I know what I want and I know what I love and I go for it. So you have to answer that yourself. But it is, I think we're here to be happy. So Jojo, quit judging yourself. There's no wrong way to do it. Just do it and don't tell anyone until you get it going. Don't tell anyone if you think they're going to say, oh, that's stupid. Okay, hope that helps. One more question. I don't want to take time away from our competitive
Thank you
speaker.
so much. I will try. Thank you very much.
If we have time for one more, I'm good. If not, you can contact me later. I don't want to take time from Percy, our speaker.
Jojo, Patty, just want to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. I learned a lot and took a lot of notes, and I'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Helen. Thank you. Okay. As we say here, shukran, thank you, mashkur, I'm grateful. I'm learning my little bit of Arabic. Not that good, but I try. Thank you all so much. And I wish you all the best. And remember, I'm here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. It's a really helpful and wonderful session. We learned a lot and we have to create something right now. And everyone took notes, and I'm sure that everybody will come to you with a vision statement and mission statement soon. Thanks again and joining us to celebrate 100th anniversary of Toastmasters. Yvonne, with Teddy, can we take one screenshot picture?